Child's pose. Yeah. Reach the arms all the way forward. Drop the seat back. And take your left hand on top of your right hand and just crawl a little bit to the right with your arms, but keep your body where it is. So just a little side body stretch on the left side. Tops of the feet press into the mat. Crawl back through center and walk your right palm on top of your left, and then crawl a little bit to the left, right. Feel your weight stay heavy back so you get a sideline stretch. Come back to neutral with your arms, regular child's pose. Activate your hands as a lift of the forearms. Ujjayi breath. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the nose. Down dog. We don't do it, we'll never do it. We could just stay in child's pose. So pedal out your legs, move the right leg, move the left leg, shimmy the hips, spread the toes. And then find a moment of stillness in down dog, even if the knees have to be super bent. Yeah, plug the thumb, the index finger, the baby finger down, wrap the outer sides of your triceps in and let your shoulders move away from your ears. Yeah. Some basic movement here. So come forward to plank. Yeah. All the way forward to plank. Perfect. Bring your weight all the way forward. Let me move this out of the way. Lead with your chest. Yeah. So drop the knees down on an angle. Take the tops of the feet and press them down into the mat. Yeah. Lower halfway or a little baby push-up. Re-straighten your arms. Seat to heels, child's pose. So I like doing this a few times, just get a little blood flow. Come forward onto your knees and the thigh bones draw back so they're on an angle, halfway down or just a little bit. Re-straighten your arms, feel the weight in your hands, seat to heels. One more, come forward. Thigh bones are like on an angle, yep, halfway to a push-up. Re-straighten, seat to heels, child's pose. Lift the hips, down dog. Yeah. And breathe your right leg up and back, just about hip height. Inner thigh lifts, point your right toe, come forward and hug your right knee in and up, scoop up the belly. Arms are straight up and down. Extend the right leg up and back, three-legged down dog. Point the toes, come forward, hug the right knee in. Extend the right leg up and back, one more. Point the toe, come forward, hug the right knee in, land the right foot forward and through, drop the back knee on an angle. Yeah, beyond the fingertips here. You can turn your right toes out a little today. Take your right hand on the inside of the right thigh and just kind of turn a little to the right. It's good to have a block too, because you can always kind of ground yourself. Good, so use the hand to press the inner thigh open. You should feel a nice stretch. I'm gonna keep my toes curled into the mat and just pause. Soften the left shoulder down the back. Good, come up to neutral, pivot the right toes forward, fingertips to the ground, activate your back leg, and let's spring to the top of the mat, hips width distance. Long spine, hands can definitely come to your shins if you feel tight. Exhale, fold in half, let your head go. Root to rise, come all the way up. Get a little head rush. Yeah, I always do. Drag my hands to prayer at heart, drop the arms. So just like this. See, it got warm in here. Arms go straight up towards the sky. Dive over, bent knees, forward fold, let your head go. Long spine to prepare yourself. Giant step back with your right leg. Big step, right leg. Plant your hands, left leg joins plank. Halfway to a push-up. You could modify with your knees down if you want. Re-straighten your arms to a plank. Hips up and back, down dog. Breathe the left leg up and back, three-legged down dog. When you lift the leg, try and lift from the inner thigh. Keep the foot flexed. Point the toes, come forward and hug your left knee in and up. Scoop up the belly. Extend the left leg up and back, three-legged down dog. Perfect. Come forward, hug the knee in. Again, extend the left leg up and back. This is just to get some mobility. Point the toe, hug the knee in and up, scoop up the belly. Land the left foot forward and through. Drop the back knee on an angle. You can have your block nearby. Turn the left toes out a little, and then use your hand to get that kind of that's that area of the hip that we need to stretch. Yeah. A little turn through the collarbone and the chest. And just breathe. Pay attention to your right shoulder, that you're not dumping all the weight down. Come back to center. Steer the left foot forward. Place both hands evenly on the ground. Integrate the back knee so it lifts, and then spring to the top. Long spine on the inhale. Hands can also just come to the shins. Exhale, fold, let the head go. Root to rise, come all the way up. Drag it to prayer at heart. Drop your arms. So we're going to take some sun A's. Arms go straight up towards the sky. Dive over, bent knees, forward fold, let your head go. Long spine to prepare. Let's step to plank. The hopping days are over for me. Halfway to a push-up. Up dog or cobra, pick your poison. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. I don't think I've hopped since like 2020. Yeah, look where you want to go. Step or float to the top of the mat. Long spine, weight is forward. Exhale, fold. Root to rise, come all the way up. Drag it to prayer. Drop your arms. Arms go straight up. Keep moving. Dive over, bent knees. Let your head go. Long spine to prepare. Step to plank. Halfway to your push-up. Up dog or cobra. Press even through the hands, the tops of the feet. Hips up and back, down dog. Spread the toes wide. Soften behind the knees as much as you need. Breathe those hips high. Arms are straight. Look where you want to land. Step or float top of mat. Let's get there light. Long spine, keep your weight forward. Exhale, fold. Root to rise, come all the way up. Feel. Drag it to prayer. Drop your arms. Arms go up. Dive in half. Let your head go. Long spine prepares you. Step or float. Chaturanga. Upward facing. Pull the chest through the body. Hips up and back. Down dog. Each one gets a little better. Keep telling ourselves that. Look where you want to go. Let's do one more. Step or float, top of mat. Long spine, weight is forward. Exhale, fold. Root to rise, come all the way up. Drag it to prayer. Drop your arms. Last one of these. Arms go straight up. Dive over bent knees. Let your head go. Long spine to prepare. Let's step to plank. Chaturanga. Up dog is smooth. Hips up and back, down dog. So let's just keep really basic movement. Let's just land the right foot forward to a low lunge. Yeah. Integrate the back left leg, fire up that right hip, and then just come up to a high lunge, crescent lunge. Yeah. Just be here for a breath or two. Steer the hip points forward. Integrate the back leg. Side ribs nice and long. Good. You're going to take your arms and just bring them forward. Wrap the left arm underneath the right. Step up into an eagle. My eagle's looking like more like a kickstand. The foot hasn't been able to go around the calf in a little while, so I've been using it like a little kickstand. But if you can get the foot to come around the calf muscle, that's great. Oh, it went. Steer the hips back. You never know what to expect. Lift the elbows up. Fix the eyes forward. Sit heavy in the standing right heel. Quiet your mind. And just be with your breath. Unravel just your arms. Guide your left leg back, warrior one. Yeah, back foot turns at about a 70-degree angle. Make sure the stance is wide enough, long enough, and the left ribs have space to turn towards the front skinny edge of the mat while you sit heavy in that right thigh. Big breath in. Looks good. Hands to frame your front foot. Chaturanga. Up dog is smooth. Hips up and back, down dog. Simple, clean movements. Left foot lands. Crescent lunge. Bring it up. Hip points move forward. Integrate the side ribs. Remind yourself you're not sitting into the joint of the knee. You're really using the quadricep muscle of the left thigh, and the back right thigh bone is engaged. Arms come forward. Let's wrap the right arm underneath the left if you think you mixed it up. Do the arm that you didn't stretch yet. Rather than yanking down, let's lift up to stretch the upper thoracic. And let's guide the right leg around the left the best that we can. This is the side that's a little tighter and shorter. Yeah. Sit nice and deep into that standing left heel. Lift the elbows up, look forward. Fix your eyes on one spot, also known as the drishti point. Keep squeezing those legs really, really tight. Unravel just your arms. Good. Let's guide the right leg back. Nice big step, warrior one. Yeah, arrange as much as you need. Steer the right side of the body forward, grip the left hip in, press firm through that back foot. Big breath in, hands to frame your front foot. Vinyasa, or skip it, up dog pulls you through. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. Deep breath in, full breath out. Let's look where we want to go. Step or float to the top of the mat. Long spine, keep your weight forward. Exhale, fold. Let's hit our first chair pose. I'm going to take mine with my feet a little separated, but they can definitely be together. Stick the butt way back. Natural curve in that low back. Feel the weight in that standing heels and press up to stand up. Drag it to prayer. All right, so put it together. 3 sun bees. Arms go straight up. Heavy in your heels for chair. Dive over, bend knees, forward fold. Let your head go. Long spine to prepare. Let's step to plank. Halfway to a push-up. Up dog. Hips up and back, down dog. So just moving here. Right foot forward, back foot turns, rise. Warrior one. Back down we go. Adding or subtracting these push-ups. The back bend. Nice. Hips up and back, down dog. Left foot forward, back foot turns. Let's rise. Hands to the floor. Vinyasa. Upward facing. Hips up and back. Downward facing dog. Deep breath in. Full breath out. Good. Look where you want to go. Step or float, top of mat. Get there light. Long spine. Fold. Heavy in your heels for chair. Press up to stand up. Drag it to prayer. Drop your arms. Let's keep going. Arms go straight up. Heavy in your heels. These things really do work. Exhale, fold. Let your head go. Long spine, prepare. Step or float, vinyasa. Skim yourself through the up dog. Hips up and back, down dog. Right foot lands, back foot turns. Warrior one. It's getting toasty. Hands back down, chaturanga. Upward facing. Hips up and back, downward facing. Left foot lands, back foot turns, rise. Here we go to the floor. Take your time. Downward facing dog is where we meet. 3 breaths. Plug down. Feel your thumb, your index finger, your baby finger. Activate. Let's do one more. Look where we want to go. Step or float, top of mat. Long spine, fold in half. Let's hit that chair. Press to stand, drag it to prayer. Drop your arms. All right, here we go. Arms go straight up. I'm always happy when I get to my last one. Chair pose. Dive over, bent knees, forward fold, let your head go. Long spine, set it up. Step to plank. Adding your push-up, upward facing. Hips up and back, downward facing. Right foot lands, back foot turns. Warrior one. Back down we go. Chaturanga. Up dog. Hips up and back, down dog. Left foot forward, back foot turns, rise. Back down we go, chaturanga. We're gonna meet in a dog and hold for a few extra breaths. Yep. Just let yourself feel. Good, let's look to the top of the mat. Step or float the feet there. Long spine on the inhale, fold in half, sit into chair, drag the hands to prayer, inhale the breath, and let's twist right. This is how I feel about this pose. I just want to get it out of the way. Yeah, I don't know if that's bad. It's not very yogi of me, but it's okay to not love everything. Keep the weight even in the heels, keep the knees aligned, and twist only above the belly button. The rib cage is twisting. You can open up your arms if you want, or just stay. Keep the breath flowing. Yeah, sit a little deeper. And let's pull around to chair. Stay engaged. Drag the hands to prayer, and let's go the other direction while we're at it. Yep. Watch that the right knee does not slide past the left. Keep the spine very long, crown of the head moving forward, and look sideways, look up. Try not to look back. Yeah. Keep the breath flowing. Nice, even movement. 2 more. Chair pose, heavy in your legs. Yep. Press to stand. Drag it to prayer. Drop your arms. Stand on your right leg. Take your left leg up into tree pose. Yeah, anywhere along the instep of the leg. Hands to prayer. Hug the outer hips in. And you just grow your branches. And just quiet your mind and your breath. The challenge here is hugging the hips, standing up really tall, and maybe starting to slide the eyes, the gaze up the wall, up to the sky without dropping the neck back. A few more breaths. Gather the sides of the ribs together as you root. Hands to prayer. Drop your arms, step down. Just transfer the weight, keep your mind there. Guide your right leg up. Hands to prayer, hug the hips, and then grow your branches. The most grounding pose that there is. Yep. So maybe not so intense, but working on just balance, connectivity to your body, your mind, your breath. Ignoring. Root a little higher. Hands to prayer. Step down. Feet hips width distance or together. Sit deep into your heels for chair pose. Stick your butt way back. Lower all the way down for a Uttanasana. I want you to claw the mat with your fingertips a little out in front of you. Draw the eyes of the shoulders up. Yeah. Pit of the belly draws in, and then you're going to lower to Ardha Navasana. So the legs hovering the floor is going to be the most challenging. Any other level is acceptable. But the eyes of the shoulders lift, the neck is neutral. Claw the mat with the fingertips and row the boat. Pull it up. Yeah, we'll do it a few times. Halfway. Pull it up. Yep, use your deep core muscles. Lower. I know. And pull it up. 2 more. Yep. Lower. Lower back presses into the floor. Pull it up. 1 more. Lower. Feel the lower back press. Pull it up. Cross the ankles. Step, float, crawl through a vinyasa. Sometimes it's more of a crawl. Up dog is freeing of the chest, of the front line of the body. Hips up and back. Downward facing dog. Step the right foot smack in between the hands. Turn the back foot on an angle. You're going to look out. Warrior 2. Yeah. Make sure your right foot intersects your back left arch. Lengthen your tailbone. Steer the ribs towards the side so you can take any of that rinse out. Yeah. Lengthen the tailbone. Soften the shoulders down the back. Close your eyes and let's hold the body up right here for a few more breaths. Wrap the inner right thigh open. Sit deeper. The feeling that kind of creeps up on you is just a feeling. It is temporary. Flip the palm, reverse the warrior, let the side body get a nice offering, a nice opening. Come back through warrior two, reach way out, slide your hand to the outside of the foot. I've been using a block here, placing in any direction. We'll go outside a foot for a variation, top arm straight up or up and over. Yeah, grip the right hip in, turn the bottom ribs, anchor that left leg, look sideways, look up, hold. Nice connected breath to holding the posture. Soften the right shoulder. Watch that your right leg, your right knee tracks directly over the right ankle. Sit a little deeper. You got it. Three more breaths. Make it count. Use the strength of your left arm and yep, pull yourself back up, warrior two. Lengthen the tailbone and sit down deeper. Circle it to the floor. Let's vinyasa. The up dog is smooth. The hips up and back, downward facing. Let's keep it going. Left foot lands, back foot turns. Cartwheel open, warrior two. Yep, other side. Lengthen the tailbone, drop down. I get the biggest stretch from this just because it gives you that external rotation of the hips, which I find is really helpful. Yeah, taking the twists out of that ribs so everything is kind of even, and then settling and maybe closing your eyes just for a few breaths. Let yourself just feel. Stay with it. Soften where you can soften, relax in the posture, let the muscles do what they need to do, but let your mind quiet. Two more. Flip the palm reverse, let the side body get a little stretch first. Come back through warrior two, reach way out, and let's go outside a foot. Use your block. Yeah, I think you went inside last time, so just repeat that so you're just consistent. Really doesn't matter. The difference between A and B is the bind, which we're not doing today. So top arm can wrap up and forward or just straight up is cool. Just creating the shape is the goal. Sit a little deeper, wrap that inner thigh open. Yeah, tuck your left hip in and turn your ribs, your bottom ribs towards the ceiling. Let's give it a little more juice. Couple more breaths. Here we go. Pull up, warrior two. Take it to the floor, plank position. Lean on your right hand for a Vashisthasana side plank. So I stagger my feet. You could stack your feet. You could take your top leg up into a tree today. Top arm straight up and over. Anything goes here. Yep. Keep the two hips square though. So what ends up happening is the left hip likes to wrap open. You want to really stack it over that bottom hip. Glue your right hand to the floor and really feel that right tricep grip in. A few more. Plank position slow, no flopping. Yep, roll right to the other side, Vashisthasana. So pick one you know you can hold. If you're adding the tree, that's great. If not, it's okay. Bottom hip has to lift through that top hip. Stack it open. Two more. Nice slow transition plank. Woohoo. Halfway to a push-up. Up dog is smooth, nice and slow, no jerky movements. Hips up and back, downward facing. From the ground up, step your right foot forward, turn your back foot strong, keep your block nearby. Pull up anywhere on that front of the right shin for triangle. This is my favorite way to get into triangle. It feels the best. If it doesn't feel good, you pull out and you step back into it. Yeah, so picking the distance for the triangle that works in your body, soften the right knee, stack open those shoulders. Look sideways, look up. If your hips are tight, you're going to feel a really deep stretch from that hip point, which is the TFL. Yeah, so draw the outer ribs in, draw the navel to the back of the spine just to protect, and let's support the pose with the breath. Keep the shape right here. Let's float into Ardha Chandrasana. So it may be a little bit more of a dramatic transition. That's okay. Left hand on hip, use the block and pop up. Keeping your right foot forward and the hip kind of even and aligned is the goal. Stack open the body however it feels best for you, or just keep your hand on your hip if that's working. Any variations are welcome here. Soften the right knee. You got it. And then it's like side plank, same pose. Find lightness, find stability, and just find your breath. Spark up those left toes. Transition back triangle. Sometimes it's a little sticky, but you can do it. Triangle. Yeah. Hook the outer hips in. Keep your breath flowing. Good. Lead with your top arm and let that pull you up to a standing position. Yep. So just come up, take your hands to your hips. And what you're going to do is just take your right foot forward, step your back foot in and square your body off to the front edge of the mat. Yeah. So now the hips are aligned. Right foot walks a little to the right, right hand on hip. You know where we're going. Left arm extends up, our favorite posture. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, come forward, twisting triangle. So kind of really working the hamstrings all at once here. Right hand on the flat part of your back is a good idea. Look sideways, look up, try not to look back. I have to bend my front leg a lot. Back leg has a nice anchor. Feel like someone's got you by your hips. They're pulling you to the back skinny edge of the mat and you twist open. You only open up your right arm if you feel you can maintain it. If not, just stay. Couple more breaths. It's definitely one that you need to be in it for a few. Two more. Right hand to the floor. Let's step through a vinyasa. Chaturanga will feel good. Up dog, even better. Hips up and back, down dog. So from the ground up, we're going to do this. Just keep it moving and step your left foot forward. Turn your back foot strong. Pick your distance for triangle. Soften behind that left knee. Make sure your back foot's turned on a little bit of an angle. Lean back a little bit and then fix your eyes. You want to feel like your shoulders are kind of sliding apart. A little bit more attention. You're going to feel that right hip getting a nice stretch. So gather the outer ribs together, and that's going to really fire that up. Keep the breath to hold the shape of the pose. Look down. Let's float to our Ardha. The transition the second time is always a little easier, right? Because you know where you're going. Pick the distance for the block where you want it, and then step up. Yeah, right arm extends. See, we were able to keep our right arm up. Spark up the right toes. Anything you want to add is acceptable here. Grip the sides of the ribs in. Awesome job. Make the transition really smooth. So when you step back to the triangle, like envision lightness, maybe move the block with you if you need it. You were able to do it. And then step right into it. Keep the neck nice and neutral. If the neck bothers you, you can always look down. Little boulder. Let the top arm just pull you up. Just pause for a sec. Yes, that's a good blood flow moving. So pivot the left foot forward. I'll just turn myself. And the right foot forward. So now you're just going to be squared off. So just kind of staying in the mode of the hamstrings and a little twisting. Left hand on hip, right arm extends up. Inhale your breath, create the space that you need. Start to come halfway down. I stop here and I give myself a little nudge of that left hip, and then I'm able to come the rest of the way down. Definitely utilizing a block is going to help the shoulder. Good. So this is my better side. So what I could do is start to play a little with the splay of the block, and to get a little bit more stretch to that back leg. Sometimes I work on moving the block more forward, and that's going to stretch you out a little more. Yeah. Stack it open, steer the hips back, and breathe. Hands to frame the front foot. Step through a vinyasa. Chaturanga into the up dog. Nice work. Hips up and back, downward facing. So no room to check out. Right foot lands, crescent lunge. We are very efficient. Rise. Back heel lifted if you can. Drag the hands to prayer. Lean way out in front of you. You're going to hook and twist. Yeah. Grip the right hip in. Nice long spine. Nice elevated back left leg. Does this bother your hip? No, that's good. It's kind of higher up. All right, good. We're going to work into the psoas after this a little. Yeah, we need to do that. Lengthen and let's twist. Open up the arms if you want more, or just stay. Two more. One more big breath in. Hands to frame the front foot. Drop the back knee. Okay, you can relax the foot if you want. Reach for your block. So we started with this before, and we can hit it again. So turn the right toes out on the ankle. Start with the right hand pressing against the inside of the thigh. And then from here, you decide how much you want. Right arm can reach back. You can kick your foot up and breathe. I mean, this is crazy intense when you haven't done it because it really stretches. So now, if you're not feeling a lot, the block can move more forward, and that's going to give you more through the back leg. So if you want it more straight up and down, it's maybe enough. And breathe right here. It's a good one. As we get more flexibility back, the form can come down to the floor of the block, but I'm not there today. I'm happy just being like this. Good. Relax the leg. Steer the right foot forward. Integrate the back knee. Plant the palms. Hug the right knee in and up, and extend the right leg towards the back wall. Point the right toes. Come forward. Land your right knee forward. Let's release all that in a half pigeon, which will feel really good. Drop down to your forearms. That's it. And then just stay like that and breathe. We'll be here for about a minute. Let yourself just kind of melt. Use the strength of your body, start to come up. Lean onto the right side and swing the left leg forward. So it's like a little tree like we did before. Yeah. Left hand behind you at the base of your spine. This is sail pose. It's a back bend, and I like it much better than a lot of other back bends. So the right knee down and the left arm. You gotta have to play. Maybe your palm has to turn out. I had the wrong hand down. I was looking at you. It's the right hand. Yeah, right hand down. That was so bizarre. Yeah, reach up and back. Right hand down, right knee down. There we go. Now we're back in business. I had a moment of backwardness. Exhale the breath, lower down. When you hit the floor, okay, the butt hits the floor, bend the knees, flip the palms, and now release all that in a reverse tabletop. And just look down the center line of your body, make sure it's not so sad. Straight line of energy. From the knees to the backs of the thighs and the thighs to the backs of the knees, you're just creating space. Broaden across the collarbone and the chest. Exhale the breath, lower, cross the ankles, step to a plank, drop to your forearms for forearm plank and hold 30 seconds. Yeah. Lengthen the tailbone, crown of the head moves forward, and just feel the strength of the ground beneath you to hold you up. Wrap the sides of your body in. Encourage your weight to come more forward. Last 10. Anchor and breathe for 5, 4, 3, 2. Release the clasp of the hands, one palm at a time to a plank position. Do it slow. Hips up and back, down dog. Not so bad. Step the left foot forward, crescent lunge. Let's keep it moving. Drag the arms up, hands to prayer. Lean way out and then twist. That's really the trick with the pose. If you can find the space early enough that you could really keep that back leg solid and strong, the left hip grips in. Point the elbows towards the sky, left elbow, and twist open. Connect. 2 more. Plant both hands to the ground. Drop the back knee at an angle. You can keep the toes curled or relax the foot. Reach for the block if you think you're going to need it. Turn the left toes out in an angle only if that works for you, because everybody's different. Right hand down, and then peel the left arm back. You want to pause at every step just to see what's happening. And then if you're able to get hold of the foot, go for it. So one side's always shorter and tighter. So you may need to finagle the block to make it work. And then just breathe. I need to stay here for like a week. Yeah. Try not to fight the sensation. Just let your body kind of melt into it if possible. And it is really a mind thing, partially physical. Let go of the foot slow. Steer the left foot forward. Move the block forward. Integrate that right leg. Plant the palms. Hug the left knee in and up. This is just a transition. And then extend it back and through. Once the leg re-extends, then you can look forward and sweep the knee forward. It kind of clears the space. And then fold. This side might be better. Yeah, so is mine. I'm telling you, it's the driving right leg. We have a driving injury over here. It's from driving our cars. Nope. It's self-inflicted. Fold a little deeper. Let your mind just kind of escape. Let the strength of your body start to slowly come up. So just creep up nice and slow. Take the right leg around. We'll see if we can do this right this time. It's like a little tree. So it's the left hand behind you. So it's left hand and left knee are going to be down, and then you lift up, sail. I love this feeling because it's kind of like a cross between a side plank and a back bend. Creates a lot of support for the body, a nice opening of that front line. You can look up. Yeah. Exhale the breath as you lower, do it slow. You want to really come out with a lot of control. When you hit the floor, steer your feet forward, lift your hips one time just to refresh that reverse tabletop, even if it's just a small movement, because a lot of times you feel kind of stuck across the upper part of the torso. Plug down. Exhale the breath, lower. We're going to take Supta Baddha Konasana. So soles of the feet are going to come together. Inner thighs are going to drop. We can elevate using the block if you want. I'll show you what I mean. So I placed my block long and medium. Yep, you can thread your hands underneath to kind of grab the block. You can stay more upright if this pulls on the lower back. So you just work on a nice broadening of the chest. My spine isn't rounded, or you can take it more rounded depending on how you feel. And just breathe. You want to kind of flutter the inner thighs open, but press and anchor the arches of your feet. So enough that you feel something. And then close your eyes and just be here for a few. Pull the torso up. Take the feet off that block. Move the block with you if you know you need it for a back bend. So you're going to lay down right now. Anchor the feet. I'm going to take bridge. How are you with wheel these days? I think I stopped taking wheel when I stopped jumping back. Yeah, anchor the backs of the triceps and then just lift the tailbone. Just 2 back bends. You can just use robot-like arms. You can interlace the hands. Yeah. Lift a little higher. Exhale the breath, come down. Try one thing. Put one foot on each block. It's amazing. Here. Try it one more time, guys. One more time. Full wheel. So just take bridge like that. There you go. Perfect. Lift all the way up. Press down into the floor of the blocks. Anchor. Exhale the breath, slowly lower. Yeah. If your feet are on blocks, just kind of slide them forward off the blocks. Hug the knees in towards the chest. Give them a souped up squeeze. And then reach for the outer blades, happy baby. We did a good amount of little hip opening. So yeah, lengthen the lower back. Keep the neck neutral. And then release that. Let's take this one supine twist that I like, okay? So feet wide, hips have to lift over to the left a little. I think you have room. Drop your knees over to the right. So they're like a little bit of an angle. So your right thigh is higher up, your left thigh is going down. Yeah. Then take your right ankle on the top of that left thigh. Kind of encourage the IT band to stretch down along the side. And then just cactus your arms. Let the foot slide off the thigh first. And then you kind of windshield washer your hips up to center. Drop the hips, bring the hips a little over to the right, and then knees go to the left. Yeah, and then the left foot kind of slides on the top of that right thigh. You encourage the thigh bone to stretch down on an angle. I like this one. This feels really good because it's getting the front of the hip. It's stretching the hip flexor. Let the foot slide off the thigh first, and then windshield washer up to neutral. Slide your legs out and set up for Shavasana. So when you don't rest in the practice, you get it done. Turn the palms open. Next minute or two, just rest. Complete relaxation. Take a big breath in. Exhale loudly. Wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. Bring your arms up over the top of the head. Give yourself a full body stretch. Hug the knees in, give them a big squeeze. And rock up your own way into a comfortable seat or just stay down. Sit up nice and tall. The sun is shining, it feels good. Sit up really tall and just feel the effects of this practice. So efficient, so powerful. Bring the hands to prayer, bow the head for a second. Be grateful you're able to pause today and do this. Lift the head, open the eyes. Namaste. Job well done.